Chapter 10. Using the mind control to check your feelings. Much has been said about controlling the feelings, getting self-aware, understanding every message being relayed by the emotion. Managing one's arousal and correcting our thinking processes have been mentioned to this cause. The mind can be used to check your feelings, since that is where your line of reasoning lies. Using your mind to take full control of your feelings involves matching each situation to emotion using the fully trained mind. This involves matching your perceptions of a situation with reality. It is done when you understand the emotion, have taken the step back, physical distance, evaluated the factors involved, and given yourself a psychological distance to evaluate from. Your assessment of the situation will determine the response you will give. Adaptive response. This is an intervention that can lead to the improvement of your stance in any situation. It is required after matching a specific emotion to the situation on hand. It is the response given which utilizes the right amount of energy needed to exert control of the situation. When you can muster up the needed energy to handle a challenge, then you can claim to have mastered your emotion. That is not all, though. What happens when your emotion does not match the situation? Change is required. You just have to change your view concerning the presented situation. One way to do this is by requesting further clarification or ask others who happen to be in the same situation for their input. A change in your perception will not lead to a change in emotion, eventually controlling your feelings. Your choice. This is a very important factor that will determine whether your feeling is controlled or not. It is basically your choice to follow through with your well thought out assessment of a situation. It is also important as it can result in varying outcomes. One that borders on two extremes that can mar the handling of a challenge or transform it into something beautiful. The choice is yours eventually. A properly trained mind will do these in helping you keep your feelings in check. All you need to do is follow through with it. Here are some do's and don'ts when it comes to gaining mastery over your feelings. Number 1. Never let others control your emotion. Negativity abounds, as mentioned earlier. This is not restricted to our thoughts alone. There are negative persons everywhere, including family members and close friends. These persons who fall into this category make efforts to bring you down either in words or actions. Words sink and cut through like knives, so you need to watch what you listen to. In the right sense of it, you cannot really determine the direction of the words you want to listen to, but you will agree that criticism from familiar persons stings most. Such criticism is not constructive. They do not look at the bigger picture and only help in bringing you down. You need to cut persons like this from your midst. Only then can you let the air of positivity reign in. Number 2. Take responsibility for your actions. Avoid using the standards of others to measure yourself. That being said, evaluate criticism closely when you get them from those you look up to. Instead of swerving back and forth, accept your role and take responsibility for your actions. This will help put your critics in place, as they will know now that you have a clear-cut path as to where you are headed. Number 3. Say no. Learn to say no and stick with it. This is especially important to avoid the influence of others who have ideas that will not contribute positively to your goals. Also, saying no shows you are decisive, and this is a powerful tool in negotiations. Number 4. Live independently. Our society demands that we make strides to fit in. Rather than blending in with others, get motivated and inspired. Learn to live independently because you measure your growth on others when you depend on them. You will also place the responsibility of your growth in their charge. This is against all we want, especially in the path to control our minds. Number 5. Forgiveness. In order to make progress and live a satisfactorily fulfilling life, forgiveness is needed. We often get offended by the action of others, which have either been done deliberately or not. Without forgiveness, it will be quite impossible to move on and continue making positive moves in our lives. Holding grudges never gives us a balanced view when making decisions. They creep up with our unconscious mind and affects our belief systems. Do not get unnecessarily burdened by grudge. You have better things to think and worry about.